Hi, Eric.
Doing?
Thanks for doing this in such short notice.
No problem.
So the game plan for today is we're just going to have a sit down and have a little conversation about your experiences so far in your career in the health, wellness, and fitness industry. Sounds good?
Sounds good.
All right, Eric. So when did you know you wanted to make a career out of health, wellness, and fitness?
Probably grade 11, taking an exercise science class, learning about the human body, all its capabilities. That's also about the time I started working out, partially through that class. So being able to learn about how the human body worked and then being able to apply it and see it firsthand was really cool. Learning through all that and then having the urge to apply it to other people.
When did you get that urge to actually apply it to other people?
I was helping out a few buddies. I guess that's where it started. I started getting my results myself. My buddies saw that and they want to know how I did it. So I just helped them with their workouts as well.
When did your own workout routine kind of evolve?
It started with me wanting to get bigger for football, but I wasn't taking the best approach. So I was working out like a bodybuilder, wanting to be bigger but also a better athlete. What I learned is that doesn't really relate too well. Working out like a bodybuilder did get me bigger, didn't make me more athletic though. Actually, a lot of muscles tightened up on me, limited my function. So then I began to learn about more of the, what's classified now as functional training, yoga, stretching, self-myofascial release, isometrics, just learning a lot of different methods really help me see the big picture and how to implement them in my own workouts.
I know you don't have a degree or diploma in this field, but how did you get your own education?
So it started with exercise science, and that was really the base of it. Went through CanFit Pro, got another base education through that, got the certification. But really a lot of it just comes from, I'd say, research through the best of the best in the industry. Guys like Charles Poliquin, Eric Cressy, Brett Contreras, you can name drop a lot of names. Everybody has these guys have a lot to offer and all these different methods. I wouldn't say there's just one idea out there that is, the best way or anything. It's good to really gain a lot from everybody. So I gained a lot from these various coaches, began implementing them in my own routines, and it's the application where you really learn it. You apply it to yourself in your own workouts. Then once you can understand it firsthand, then you can teach it to somebody else.
I agree 100% on learning from multiple people. I've gotten some advice from other people saying, you should pick one person and really study that one person. And for me, how can you learn just from one person? Because not one person knows everything, right? And as you said, so many different things work for everybody, and just you got to find what works for you. Yes.
Yeah, it's got to be individualized and whatnot. There's a lot of different ideologies, but these, even the top coaches know they're not 100% right. There's still a lot of theory involved in this field.
How long have you been running Grand's PT?
Grand Personal Training has only been running since last July. Prior to that, it was Body Waves Fitness. But I've been a personal trainer myself for the last 8 years now.
8 years? So have you been working out of a gym all 8 years, or have you been kind of freelancing and then working your way up to owning your own gym?
I've almost done it all. I started with Premier Fitness in Stony Creek. That lasted a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And that was just strictly, originally it was personal training when I first started, and then it moved into a management position where I was in charge of all the personal trainers. And I left there to go to another gym in Stony Creek. That was Phoenix Fitness at the time, personal training. I've also worked for LA Fitness. So there's a bit of this gym hopping in the corporate field, trying to find my fit.
Okay.
And it wasn't in the corporate end of things. In these big box gyms, right, I felt like I learned a bit from each one and from the people involved there, which was great, but it wasn't the fit for me. So I ended up coming here to Caledonia about 3 years ago now. So that'd be 2013. Had an opportunity to buy a gym, take it over, did that. Due to financial complications with the landlord and whatnot, we closed that down. And now here I am in this facility with an osteopath, a naturopath, and I'm running my own gig here, and it's great. It's a learning curve. There's a lot else involved in behind it, as far as doing your bookkeeping and really running the entire show. But that is where I always saw myself when I was back working in these corporate gyms. I wanted to be in complete control.
Managing the personal trainers at Premier Fitness and doing all the management aspect, how have you been able to apply that experience to right now?
I guess more in the sense of responsibility, being able to juggle my own clients and then make sure everyone else is doing their part as well. But it's more so having other tasks, because here currently I'm responsible for myself, and then just my girlfriend's doing some training as well. So she doesn't need a lot of attention, or I don't need to stay on top of her too much with as far as training goes and whatnot. I help her out obviously with her programs, but as far as like delegating and whatnot, I did gain some of that from Premier Fitness. I just haven't had to apply it here because it's mostly a one-man show right now. But in the future, I do definitely see myself hiring trainers. Did I gain a lot from that experience? I would say in that corporate field, I guess in the sales approach, it is very, you must meet monthly quotas, and you must manage people to encourage them to meet those monthly quotas. And I see that, myself applying that sort of mindset here to motivate, encourage people, and influence them to want to do better. But in all honesty, I'd rather just help coach somebody become a better trainer, and I think as a result, they would get more sales. They will want to do better, rather than the kind of the push of the corporate field. To wrap it all up, I think the corporate end of it is very pushy as far as what they expect of their trainers, and it is very just numbers based. And if you're not getting your numbers, you're gone. You're at the door.
Okay.
Whereas I'd rather, the way I see myself, if I have a trainer under me, I'm going to coach them. Yes, they'll be expected to make sales and whatnot, but I think that will be a result of proper coaching and then having the skill set to make sales.
How did you educate yourself with the bookkeeping?
So when I took over the previous gym, Body Waves, the previous owner had sat with me for a little bit, and I learned the program that I initially had, which is not the one I have now. But she still helped me with the more tangible elements of it, so the written documents and how to file everything, keep track. I'm now using QuickBooks Online, and you know what, it's fairly straightforward. It's everything's right there. You can access it on your computer from anywhere. It all kind of makes sense. You just got to spend some time doing it, and you get the handle of it.
The worst part about being in this field so far?
Worst part?
Yeah.
Initially, it depends on what point in my career you're referring to, really. But first starting out, it's the struggle of building your clientele and kind of being left to your own devices. Like, okay, how do I do this? You're starting out, you're not the most confident in yourself, but you need to be. You really need to portray that. And then plus, not only are you a personal trainer, but you're a salesman as well, right? You gotta make those sales. So there's a major learning curve initially, and there's a point where you're not making a lot of money. You gotta get out there, you gotta sell yourself, you gotta produce results. There's a lot on your shoulders. But you come out, a few years down the road with that experience, and you gain a lot. You really build up a lot of self-confidence, job skills. You develop an entrepreneurial mindset. And I think that's really where it started for me. That's why I wanted to be in business for myself, because I felt like initially I was. There's just somebody taking a cut. The struggle is initially that. Now is, being a business owner and whatnot is just the struggle of doing it all yourself. It can be hard sometimes to detach from it all, right? And have a personal life still and whatnot. Because you feel like, your job, you're never punching the clock, really,
yeah.
Right? You're never clocking out. There's always something you could be doing, whether it's writing blog posts, writing programs. You could always be doing something to better yourself and your clients' results.
My last question is, what advice would you give somebody just entering the field?
Never stop learning. Just because you're coming out of school, don't think you know it all. There's so much out there. Take something from every ideology and every coach that's out there. Don't disregard something because you heard somebody talk bad about it. So there's something to take from every practice, really. Doesn't mean you have to go full tilt and believe in just CrossFit or just Olympic training. There's bits and pieces, and then from that, you'll develop your own method, your own beliefs, which you can then apply and use to differentiate yourself in this industry, if that's your path.
Yeah.
Some people, will find themselves, they will maybe just want to buy into one thing because they really enjoy it and they really believe in it. That's fine to them as well. You can be a jack of all trades, or, you can maybe be the master of one thing. Again, it's one of those things, is there one right way?
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you so much for doing this.